Hello, Scorpio. Welcome back to Peony Lore, where we help you to find the beauty in all things. This is going to serve for all sun, moon, and rising signs of Scorpio, or anywhere else you have it very heavy in your chart for the week of the 7th through the 13th. My apologies again that my system kind of like died and I had to do a lot of system work. So the videos that I did for the first week, I could not restore them, but we move forward, okay? So Scorpio, if you happen to have Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, or even a little bit of Leo, those are the transits of the moon that are taking place this week. And so maybe you want to take a look at those additional signs. Of course, we always suggest that you take a look at your sun, your moon, and your rising to get a full picture of what is going on. If you're new to the channel, thank you. Welcome. Come on in. We're going to lay down 7 cards, one day for each day of the week. And then we will clarify. We will add in a little bit of the astrology and some of the other details that you would need to know to tie that together. We're going to include a sacred geometry card, and this week we are pulling out the therapy angels cards to support. And at the end, make sure you stick around to the end. We will do separate placements, additional cards for the sun, the rising, and the moon positions of Scorpio, which will include the Black Moon Astrology, the numerology, and an Ask Angel. So you will have an opportunity to pause the video and ask a question that is most supportive for yourself in the reading. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right on in. I hope that everyone is doing well. We are moving very, very quickly here through this through this new year already, and looking forward to springing. For most of us, we do have the time change. For a lot of us, this comes up next Sunday. The first and second. Thank you. Next Sunday, the 13th. So that'll be an interesting transition for people. Here we go, guys. Here we go. This is looking very interesting. The first couple of days out here, we've got the Two of Cups on Monday. We've got the moon. Interesting, my friends. Interesting. Coming up here on this Tuesday position. Let's see what we have here on Wednesday. Midweek. Oh, there it is. And it's meant to be, oh, look at all this water energy that we have going on here, Scorpio. Now, of course, because Pisces is in the sun position, all of you water signs are going to be receiving a little bit of extra support with that additional water that is in play right now. And clearly, this is a lot of what your reading is about right now. Emotions and things that are coming to the surface. That is literally what the new moon in Pisces did for us last week, pushing that energy forward. And then, of course, we have Neptune coming into play, supporting that at a couple of different points within the week. So really pushing the water element forward. And Scorpio, you do have the same placements that we've had for the past couple of weeks. Will be there for the next couple of months, to be perfectly honest with you, is the Pluto and Capricorn that we've been talking about for a while. Yep, here they go, all in order, which gives a little bit more detail to what's going on for Scorpio, because Pluto is your natural ruler, talking about death and transformation and rebirth and making adjustments where they need to be made. Let's get the energy of Sunday. So far, my friends, you have 3 major arcana this week. This is going to be a big week. Let's see what we've got. Let's get Sunday's card out here for our Scorpio friends, please. Sunday for Scorpio. Huge energies, you guys. I can feel this is going to be a very interesting one. But it does look very, very promising so far. Yep, there we go. Okay. So Sunday's energy is the Knight of Swords in the reverse position. Okay, so my friends, what this is all about, and I gotta say this again, some of you are on the cusp of Libra, so you may want to go and take a look at that energy from the Libra reading that is up and published already. I see that we are going through this healing process. I see that we are going through this situation where we have an opportunity to be a little less analytical and a little less subterfuge, right? A lot of these things are popping up here for Scorpio, so that we can be more in our feels, and that's very, very beautiful, again, with the energy that we've got going on with our Pisces sun energy going on, this extra water. Two of Cups, the Moon, the Seven of Cups, the Three of Wands, the Tower, the High Priestess, and then the Knight of Swords in the reverse position. I really do like this energy. We're talking about trying to come together here, bringing details that you've been working on from the past, where you've come out of your brains a little bit and more into your heart space, which is very, very supportive for Scorpio. Obviously, you guys are naturally born healers and psychics. We do have a lot of energy coming in from higher self. Unions, relationships for some, not necessarily all, but definitely coming together of ideals and things that are needed. Now, the Moon card that's showing up here for me is really leading you towards this Three of Wands energy that you want to have happen. So the Moon is saying, listen, there's things that are coming up. Obviously, this is what's going on, and we are trying to direct you into this level of don't stray too far left, don't stray too far right. Stay right down this path here. Use the energy of the Moon. Use the energy of what is under the surface coming up, what is showing up for you in your physical body, in your thought processes, those things of that particular nature, because what we're showing you are multiple options that are available towards you. The Seven of Cups, it's literally what this is. We have all these different options, all these beautiful gifts, all these different ways that you can traverse things. And what's going to happen with them is you're going to have an opportunity to set your sails and or receive something back that you've put out into the universe long before that's been going to be showing up until this point. But basically, there's a huge beneficial choices that are coming for you. Now, we do have the energy of Mars, the Tower, that is showing up here on Friday, which is not necessarily a bad thing because the Tower is in natural play on this Friday. But the Tower comes in, Mars comes in order to give us a little bit of a shakeup where we need to have a little bit of a shakeup and get some clarity on a couple of different areas. And then on Saturday, we have the energy of the High Priestess. Again, I want you to see this dualistic 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 that's coming in here. The High Priestess is saying there's more information that needs to come to the surface. We're going to start doing this with you a little bit more gently. And then I think here's where the rubber is going to meet the road for a lot of different people. But at the end of the day, when we get to this Sunday with this Knight of Swords in the reverse position, you may be expecting or may have hoped to have received some information. I don't think this is the weekend that you're going to receive a lot of it, but I can tell you that you are going to be very, very clear. And if this doesn't end up being you trying to hold on to some information because you're now getting the bounty of this, the detail that's showing up for you this week, it's going to show up next week. Let's see what we've got here from the Sacred Geometry. Oh, that was fast for our Scorpios. Okay. So what the universe is saying is that out of this conversation, out of this water energy that's coming up, you are being supported again with throat chakra, speaking your truth. We have the icosahedron platonic solid that is showing up. So if you happen to have this in crystal form or any other form, utilizing this shape is going to be able to support you this week with speaking your truths, okay? Keeping it cool, keeping it steady, speaking your truths about the different types of things that are available to you this week. I think that could be very much a big part of what happens for this Friday and Saturday. Let's move on with your angel therapy and let's see what the angels want to lend to our Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising for this particular week. Oops, not the whole deck. Thank you. Let me reshuffle that. This feels good. Like, I do feel that many of you from a spiritual perspective are being shown exactly what to do and exactly what to address in order for you to speak your truth this week. This is what the angels have to say. Wow. Yep. Manifestation power. So they are definitely talking to you, Scorpio, about using your spiritual gifts and natural abilities to attract the desired outcome that you have. And obviously manifestation is a part of speaking the words, but it is very much based on emotion. The angels and spirit guides respond to your emotion about how you feel about it. So you're being given a wide breadth of opportunity this particular week in order to specifically get to that point. Let's go ahead and bring out the little guys here and start doing some clarifiers for every single day of this week. So the energy of Tuesday, my friends, we have the moon in the position of Taurus. And then we also have the energy where there's a square with Saturn in Aquarius. So Aquarius is really having this conversation in the planet with our friend Jupiter. I'm sorry, with Saturn, talking about how we can expand what it is that we need to be able to do. So expansion could be you coming together with your higher self a little bit more from a spiritual perspective. Of course, it could also be expansion of a family. It could be expansion of a relationship of any nature, right? The relationship can be very, very broad. The Two of Cups, though, is really giving me this energy of soulmate. It's really what I'm getting. I'm getting this energy of soulmate, this connection. Now, soulmate doesn't have to be a lover. Soulmate could be a brother, sister. It could be a best friend. But I am getting, it's that level of tight closeness energy that we have here with this Two of Cups. So let's see what we have supporting this Two of Cups here for Scorpio. Okay. We have the Five of Cups energy that shows up here. So there is some energy of healing, addressing something that needs to be corrected, or at least that has been something that has been going on for you. You know, the Five of Cups can sometimes mean a little bit of regret or a little bit of remorse based upon something we did or did not do in the past. But at least when the Five of Cups is there, we have been in the opportunity of trying to heal something, address something. And of course, you know, our emotions are very heavily involved in that whole process. What we have is the Nine of Swords supporting that. So could have been in our heads a little bit, maybe creating a little bit of anxiety. For some, this will have manifested itself in not really sleeping very well. It can also, for very many of you, have a lot to do with headaches. That is very, very normal with the energies that we've got going on right now. A lot of upgrades with our spiritual awakening for a lot of different people. So that can have something to do with it. But I also am getting the sense that if we had any regret towards something, it's very, very I want to say minimal as far as timing is concerned, because we're almost at the end of letting all of that energy go. I'm not feeling anything was completely long term, but there's something that's called our attention towards this union or this partnership that we have in play here. And what we have clarifying that is, yeah, we've got this Ace of Pentacles. We've got this opportunity now to have said to someone or have addressed something that we needed to be able to address. Again, I feel that whatever stress was in this situation was very, very temporary, very short-lived type of energy, because at the Ace of Pentacles is giving us this fresh opportunity, this new gift to move forward into this relationship based upon the actions that we've already taken, right? So we go into this energy of Tuesday with the major arcana of the moon here, right? And so I got to tell you, we got a couple of big major things that are happening with this moon energy. Firstly, we have this beautiful meetup with Mars and Mercury and Venus taking place on this particular day, right before it moves into the energy of, after it moves into this energy of Gemini, right? A little bit more expansive energy. But again, we do have this trine, this with Pluto and Capricorn, which is talking about transforming something, right, that needs to be there for our long-term success, this tenacity, this energy of what it is that we're putting in. And there you are, you're showing up in your own reading with that Death card, listening to the universe, following the path of this light that the universe is trying to share with you at this moment to take advantage of this ace, right? We're trying to show you the next steps. How do we do this thing that needs to be adjusted, right? We need to call some attention to something, and we're going to show you what needs to go. You've already addressed it. You've already realized that something needed to be adjusted. We're coming out of that progression, because whatever could have been holding you back just a little bit, even though I feel it was temporary, you're realizing that you're the only person that's responsible for trying to unpeel that onion a little bit. This isn't anyone else's energy. This is 100% you taking responsibility for what needs to go on here. So we have the King of Swords, and we also have the Judgment card. Well, there it is. Pluto's all over this reading for you guys here. There's clarity that has maybe eluded you in the past, and therefore this is what the universe is trying to bring towards you. You do need to pay attention to something here, okay? You have the Ace of Pentacles, and you've got the Judgment card that's saying, if you felt like you haven't been ready, the universe is carrying you forward a little bit now, okay? And it could be that there's so many good things that are going on that you're just a little bit kind of all over the place in a mental area, but this is where we need to use our manifestation powers of our emotions this particular week to drive something forward. So the King of Swords energy is sometimes the energy of contracts or legal matters or anything like that that involves business. And when the Judgment card is in the reverse position, either you have just recently made a judgment call about a decision, or you are going to be called to make a judgment call about a decision based upon how the universe is trying to support you with the emotions that match with that. Therefore, you run into this energy of Wednesday with this Seven of Cups. Now, the energy of Wednesday really has a lot to do with Jupiter. That expansive nature for what it is that we want going into our long term. And we have Chiron and Aries that's taking a place here with your level of personal responsibility in a particular situation. So there's a choice that you're making. For some of you, there's an offer that you're going to be accepting. Some of that offer could be like a new job, a new project. The universe is definitely trying to show you and would have gotten your attention about something in the past. And so now you're going through and you're weighing the different options that are in front of you, or the next steps that are in front of you with that offer that came into play. And there it is. Every single sign has gotten the Sun card up into this point. This is a beautiful energy on this day. This is beautiful. You have lots of different options. This is so awesome. Then you have the energy of Gemini, the Lovers, in the reverse position here. Okay, so what the universe is saying to you on this day is specifically with the Judgment in the reverse position and the Lovers, Gemini major arcana that's sitting here. Some of you really could be dealing with a spouse or a committed type of a relationship. It doesn't always have to be that when the Lover shows up, because it really does indicate decisions needing to have been made, and you have made a decision. You've thrown down the gauntlet here at this particular moment. Now, the only thing that the universe is saying to you is really have strong considerations about what this judgment is, what this decision is that you're getting ready to make. Sometimes when the Lover's card presents itself in the reverse position, sometimes the universe is going, are you really sure that's what you really want to do? So again, there is an acceptance of something that's been going on in the past, which is bringing you to this line of knowing, I really want this to happen, and therefore there's an opportunity this week for you to realize what those decisions are. But when we get to Thursday, we have the Three of Wands energy that's coming into play here, and the Three of Wands is really talking about some say your ship's coming in, right? Or something that you're trying to launch for yourself. Usually the beginnings of relationships with people, business relationships with people, setting strong foundations for work, and we're done, because that's exactly what we've got. It's the Three of Wands on the Three of Wands. That's the universe's way of saying you said it exactly. We don't need to take it any further. So making decisions about partnerships, making decisions about contracts, making decisions about what it is that you're going to do with this gift of the Ace of Pentacles that has been presented towards you at this moment, okay? Then when we get to the energy of Friday, we have the Tower. Like I said, we have Mars coming in here. We have Venus in play with Aquarius. That's that big nature of expansive energy, and it's mixed in with the Moon in Cancer, right? And so that is the energy of how it is that we're going to move forward. So the energy of the Tower or Mars is talking about assertion. What energy are you putting into something? Well, it's very much based upon what it is that you decided up here, because that's the Seven of Cups energy, our level of independence in a particular situation, and what it is that we want moving forward. So what's being tested here, or what's being proven here, and I could put this in any order, in order for you to be the independent person that you want, whether it's in business or a relationship or any other type of dealing, in order for you to be the independent person that you want, you really have to strongly consider what's going on in this level of relationship and what is being highlighted in that relationship, what is good in that relationship, what is it that you want to expand or change in the relationship. So some of you are being guided towards the adjustment that needs to be made here. Now, what I like about this is that we've got the Empress that's showing up, and the Empress is talking about really understanding your level of manifestation. This is the ultimate manifester in the entire deck that we have here, the Empress. Whatever she wants, she gets. Again, male or female, because, you know, gender doesn't have a place here when we're doing these types of messages in general. But the Empress is really talking about creativity, talking about laying down your foundations, talking about putting your manifestation power to work for you, and being in a position of appreciating that what you want is going to come in. And there's a little bit of patience. I mean, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, but you know that it's coming. And so that energy, even though it doesn't matter how I place it, it all has a to do with, for me, a lot of business dealings or contracts or ways of moving forward with decisions. So you've made a decision basically with this Two of Wands, and the ace that shows up here, okay, the one that's in the middle is the universe, spirit going, yep, we agree to the choices that you're making here. We just may need to make a few different adjustments. And so now you have the opportunity to realize what that means as far as your personal level of independence. I like that energy that's showing up here. Again, the universe is showing up in its natural form because we do have Venus that is taking place with Mars. So those are the ways that these changes are going to be assertively balanced out for yourself. Let's get to this energy of Saturday with the High Priestess now. The High Priestess, talking about there could be a little bit more information that you don't know about right now, and or I'm going to share with you all the different things that you don't know. Well, we first have the Four of Swords energy. So the Four of Swords energy is talking about needing rest. It's talking about going in. It's talking about let's have some conversation with spirit at this particular moment. There could be a lot more downloads that are getting ready to come towards you, perhaps if you're taking a nap on this weekend or in your sleep time specifically. And what it is that they are bringing in here is the energy of Sagittarius. We are talking about the Temperance card coming in here. The universe using the energy of fire and water to create the steam or the momentum that's needed from the background. It is talking also about moderation, right? So you can't go all in at once. You've got to be able to have a little bit of play, fluidity in this particular week. But what I find is very interesting when we get to this whole energy of Saturday is naturally there is not a whole heck of a lot of fire that is in the chart here. We are all air, we are all water. That's exactly what is showing up here. So, you know, if you are dealing with the Sagittarius, I would say that it's probably going to be a little bit low key, but the universe is calling your attention to the fact that we need to put a little bit of balance and some moderation into something, and they're going to share with you what that is. High Priestess is going to tell you what that is. Here we go. First, here's the fire. Five of Pentacles. If you will go within, if you will let us talk to you a little bit, okay, you're going to figure out what exactly it is that you can completely release. We've got the Five of Pentacles and the Five of Cups here. How it is that you're getting out of that energy so that we can show you how to take this ace that we're going to give you and wield this new passion project of whatever the case may be. For some of you, going back to this relationship, you may have accepted the fact that there could be some necessary changes in the way that your relationship is occurring right now, and in order for you to get what you need, your personal independence is really required at this time, and you are releasing yourself from anything that could have been holding you back a little bit over here, okay? Because you do have the Ace of Wands in the reverse position. It's indicating that you don't have a whole heck of a lot of passion for the things that's going on right now. There's a stop, there's no action that's taking place. Just want to cover the bases here. Let's get into the energy of Sunday, where we have this Knight of Swords in the reverse position. So again, there's not a lot of momentum, there's not a lot of activity that's taking place here on this day. We do have the conjunction, again, heavy water on this particular day because of the Sun in Pisces matching up with and conjuncting with Neptune in Pisces, the Moon in Cancer. So just water all over the freaking place. And then you've got this opposition now to where Pluto, which is Scorpio's energy, is taking this conversation with Capricorn in how do we expand in a way that's balanced, that gives us our fire energy back. Well, here we have the Chariot. We definitely have Cancer coming into play here, just to call names out for what it is that we've got going on. So in order for you to move forward, right, the universe is talking to you about this plan that you have about moving forward, okay, and moving forward with grace, because the Chariot only comes up, of course, could be talking about the natural placement, but the Chariot comes forward when the universe is agreeing with you about what it is that needs to be done. The conversation is about your level of gifts that are being received at this particular moment, because the Knight of Pentacles comes in to deliver something that you have called into play at this particular moment. It could be usually physical, tangible, touchable types of things, but it also has the energy of what it is that I need to go forward in a more long-term type of a thought process, right? And again, with the King of Pentacles showing up here, this is what the universe is saying. You can't move forward on this particular day, even though things are lining up for you, because there's something else that needs to be reviewed here with this King of Pentacles in the reverse position. The Knight of Swords can't deliver deliver this to you, because at some way, shape, or form, you've got to make sure that you are 100% on board with the resources that have to take place here, right? So you've got something that has to be considered here. Something may be a little bit out of whack, especially when it comes to what's going on with this union with you and somebody else. Now, again, could be business. It could be an actual relationship. But at the end of the day, the universe is saying to you, with all of this information that we're sharing with you, you're definitely going to have to speak your truth. And you have the gift of manifestation. So you need to use your gifts to track what it is that you want. If something is out of skew, there is an opportunity for it to rectify itself here if you pay attention. So let's go ahead and go into the clarifiers for the placements. We're going to start with the Scorpio Sun. So we're going to use the Ask Angels for each of these Scorpio placements. If you want to pause the video now, ask your angel a question. It will be answered when you get to your placement. We're going to start with Scorpio Sun. Using the Black Moon astrology, we're going to support what it is that's going on in this reading for this week to see what's the most important aspect for what has been discussed so far. Endings and beginning. Scorpio, come on now. 8th house, Scorpio, Pluto, endings and beginnings. This is all over the place. I mean, it literally is the entire board of conversation that we've got here. We've got the death card that's showing up here. This is you. This is you making a determination here with this energy of what it is that I need to focus on. What is the universe trying to share with me? How do I stay in this lane here so that things that need to change are a little bit more in balance? You already have the thought process and the acceptance of what needs to go forward with your decisions, with your judgment that have been in play here. You can certainly sit here and recalibrate and rethink about what that is. But before you move forward with this card, have you thought about it all the way down the line, right? I think some of you have. But let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got here as far as the numerology. And the numerology for the Scorpios is going to support a couple of other different things. Let's see. The first one, ooh, yeah, spiritual partnership. So some of you, and you do have another card as well, you have the energy of self-love. Some of you are transitioning away from a relationship, period. Period, point blank. You're done. It's time for you to move forward. Now, if this is a relationship, you know, hey, listen, we all have gotten to those points in our past where in order for us to move forward, we have to move and be independent. And so you have to consider where your codependency is with some of these different types of situations that are coming into play here. But regardless of the choice and the choices that you will make, please make sure that you're giving yourself some self-care and some self-love in this whole transition for yourself. It's so, so important, right? Now let's go into your Ask Angels and let's see what else we have here. This is for Scorpio Sun. Ooh, thank you. Romance. Well, I called it. Guys, listen, so you are changing something in regards to your commitment, your partnership, those types of things. Even though the Two of Cups is not presenting in the reverse position, which usually means there's challenges and problems and major disagreements, you do have it down here when you come to the Lovers. You're trying to figure out how to apologize. You're trying to figure out how to get into this next level of how do I make this change. The universe is saying in order for your ships to come in, you got to sit down and face facts over here. You got to make sure that you're putting some emphasis. But some of you, this is a change or the beginnings of a change of a relationship. And for some of you, like I said, this spiritual partnership is talking about a higher level union, and we are talking about a soul mate. Again, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It could be a best friend relationship. It could even be a business partnership. But at the end of the day, something must change. Okay, let's go on to our Scorpio rising or our Scorpio ascendant. Let's see what we have to support this reading for you here. Scorpio rising and ascendant also has two different cards. We have firstly the South Node. This is your last lifetime's energy. This is called life's debts. So the relationship that's taking place for some of you is definitely still a spiritual relationship, but it has a lot to do with what you were doing in your last lifetime. The second card that you have is the air element, and this one is titled communicating. But let's start with the energy of what the South Node has to do with here. So The South Node has to do with the energy of the Ten of Swords. Now, the Ten of Swords didn't place itself on the board this specific week, but the South Node is talking about having something be completely dead, done, over with, because you've done everything that you can do from a mental perspective. However, you also get the air element that pops up here that says, the Ace of Swords is what's required. Well, guess what? You didn't get that placement on this deck either. You've got the Four of Swords, but you didn't get the Ace of Swords, okay? So what's missing before you can take advantage of letting something go is knowing what it is that has to change, right? You know, we talk about changing of relationships. It doesn't mean that you have to break up. It doesn't mean that those things must take place. It just means that there must be a migration from the way that you're doing things now to how some other things can be done. Let's get your numerology and see what we have here for you as well. All right, here we go. This is for Scorpio rising. And what we do have here is the energy of parenting. Okay, so this means a couple different things. First, it is very possible that what you are considering right now, Scorpio, is the level of energy you are putting forth in a relationship which is a little bit unbalanced. This is where the codependent energy kind of comes in here. We do have mothering energy based upon this, so we're taking a look at how much energy we are putting into somebody else versus ourselves, whether it is an actual child or whether it is an actual partner that is not really matching up to our level, right? So we are parenting them more so than we should be. The other aspect of this is that you may need to take a look at your parenting skills, parenting options. A child may need your support this particular week. Now, the thing about it for me is that we have knights all over the board. We don't really have pages, so I'm not really getting the energy of children per se. So what this is telling me that is, unless this is a child, this Two of Cups happening to be a child, you are potentially parenting someone, and you really have to discuss getting and speaking your truth out to that person so that you guys can move forward if you want the opportunity to do that, okay? Now let's get your Ask Angel cards on top of that, and let's see what we have for our Scorpio rising. Ooh, that was fast. Thank you, universe. The answer to the question in play is yes. And this is not just a little yes, this is a whole heck yes, if you know what I'm saying. So whatever your particular question was, the universe is saying yes, you need to take some action on this particular situation for you, okay? All right, let's move forward and let's grab our Scorpio moons and let's see what additional information the universe has for them. Okay, we have one card, and look at that, we have the Saturn card titled Truth. Okay, my friends, this is not that difficult, but what it is, it's talking about the fact that we want to be able to heal from something. Now, this is the energy of the Three of Swords. It's potential or possible that you or the other person that you're dealing with has created some uncomfortable situation for you. Three of Swords energy usually does have a lot to do with hurt feelings, something that made you completely uncomfortable, and now we got to talk about it, right? We got to talk about this situation. And literally, that's kind of what this has got going on here. Now, it can be a personal relationship. Again, it doesn't have to be, but at the end of the day, Saturn can't move forward in order to provide what it is that you need in the best way possible, unless you speak up for yourself and say, you know what, you pissed me off, or you hurt my feelings, or you know, maybe there's an apology that you need to give to somebody, Scorpio, but that's the energy of what the Saturn Truth card is all about, okay? Before we take it to the next level and create another butthurt situation, let's address the details, okay? Now, let's go into your numerology. And let's see. Oh, that was fast. Thank you, universe. A timeout is needed. You need to have a little bit of space and time. So communication could be a little bit stressed here if you don't sit down and realize that this is what we need to be able to do to move forward and create a more solid environment. This is not going to take place unless you take a timeout and you really kind of get your thoughts together. This is where judgment comes in with, do you really understand kind of what the detail is this here. We've got the King of Swords that showed up here. So we've definitely got the strong energy of two people that are in play. You've got the King of Pentacles and you've got the King of Swords that's sitting in here, guys. Very, very, very instrumental when it comes to two strong energies of people that are just not necessarily in agreement at this particular moment. And that's okay. The universe is saying we need to take a little bit of a timeout in order to get the details out there. Now, let's follow this up with your Ask Angels card. And the card is, there are helpful people. So perhaps the timeout that's required is for you to maybe go hang out with a friend, talk about the situation, do the ins and outs of the particular situation, talk about it with someone else. It could be a counselor, it could be a therapist, it could be anyone else. But if you definitely are feeling as though you need the additional conversation outside of going in and having conversation with your spiritual team, there could be some helpful people that will address and help you address the way that things need to come out here. Helpful people to me has a lot to do with this High Priestess energy that's coming on out here for you specifically. All right, Scorpio, whether you are a sun, moon, or rising, I hope that you got a lot of information out of this reading this week. Please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't already done that, feel free to comment. And if you're looking for a personal reading from me, take a look at the description box below. I am taking bookings and would love to be able to work with your personal energy and anyone else that we need to discuss for you. Thank you guys so much. Many, many blessings, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.